I like your nails, your nail color.
Thank you.
Yeah.
April is purple for me. It like the aura of April is always purple, and so I lean in
Be
and
careful.
express it on my hands.
Because if you do that every month, you'll become a purple person.
Not really though, because May for me is pink. You know what I mean? Then
okay.
June is clearly sort of like a green blue kind of situation.
Okay, I was thinking more orange. I was thinking you're just going based on the temperature. Where it's like,
Okay.
yeah, like April with the flowers, then May, a little pink, really pink, nice
I dress
flowers.
based on-
And it's getting hot in June.
Oh,
and July.
sort of an ombre situation.
Yeah.
See, I dress based on the terror threat levels.
Yeah,
That's how I pick my color.
Do
palette.
like months have auras for you, or do you associate colors with things?
Yeah.
Because I do that a lot.
I do
like,
that sometimes too.
Yeah.
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know if I do.
No?
like in school, did you have notebooks for different subjects with different
Yeah.
colors, or did you not give a fuck?
I don't think I gave a fuck.
Wow.
I don't think I was just trying to get through the day. I was just trying to read basic human emotion.
His colors were orange.
Trying to get by.
His colors were orange jumpsuits when he was in school because they threw him in jail.
No, they didn't.
They basically did.
No, they didn't. Why would you say that?
your-
Why would you start the podcast there?
Everybody.
Did you get in trouble at all in like grade school?
Yes, but it was for like sort of petty little girl stuff. You know what I mean? It was like so and so's talking about so and so, like little bratty girl stuff. Nothing
Lot
sort of
name
disturbing.
calling, a lot of whisper campaigns against each other.
Yeah, and like I was just I would be sort of associated with, I was never really the aggressor. It was just like I'd be associated with sort of the mean girl.
Yeah, you weren't Regina George, but you were Lindsay Lohan.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But oftentimes I would be like, I think on the right side of history. We'll see what, the gals say in the court. But like, I feel like I was always pretty honorable.
Winston Churchill, Kitty Reynolds.
Right there, right up there.
both overall really good, but you look back, there's a little bit of a checkered past,
Right,
just a tiny
right. And then then I was a wild child in like high school, but nothing wild child as much as like a little white suburban upper middle class girl can be. You know what I mean? It was just
Right.
like drinking at a young age
Yeah.
and like
Puking at
being
somebody's
boy
plants and
crazy.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the classics.
Yeah, where'd you grow up?
Long Island.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
that
nice.
makes that
Long
makes,
Island.
that makes
Long
sense.
Island.
Long Island.
I'm going there today for
Brr.
Pesach.
Where?
I forgot, Roslyn or something. No, I don't know where the hell I'm going, honestly.
Okay.
There's a lot of Jews in Roslyn, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that checks out.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm from the other county,
Which one? Suffolk.
Suffolk.
I don't. I just named the county. I didn't even know if Roslyn
There's
was
only
in
two.
Suffolk.
You were right on.
It's
Yeah.
Nassau
You
and
fucking
Suffolk
nailed it.
County.
Just like osmosis through being Jewish, I know Long Island.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's just sort of like the second homeland. It's sort of a satellite building.
It's
or
pretty. There's probably more Jews in Long Island than Israel.
No.
There's a lot.
That's a really good question.
I think
I
it's
doubt
it's
it.
probably not. It's close though.
Because
I-
Brooklyn is technically in Long Island.
Yeah.
So if you really,
If we're doing the entire actual island of it,
Right,
100%.
geographically.
Yeah. Yeah. But you guys
Yeah.
can school there.
You're not Jewish, are you?
I'm not.
couldn't
But
tell.
culturally, I've been to 10 bar mitzvahs. This is my
Nice.
resume.
Yeah.
10 bar mitzvahs, slept with a lot of Jewish men,
I think
a lot of guys. And then I went to Michigan. So that's like a super Jewish.
It is Michigan.
Yeah, University of Michigan. Super.
Michigan. That's.
See.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I haven't been to 10 bar mitzvahs.
It was, I was killing it.
That was more of a
It was-
popularity thing though.
Oh yeah.
I would say I went to 4 bar mitzvahs. I'm a little low. I grew up in Westchester, so
Okay.
that's the other.
I was a grade of 700 though. Oh, so if
okay.
you
Mine-
proportion, it feels.
I was a grade of 180, so if actually numbers wise, I had a higher percentage.
Right, you're actually per capita.
Per capita, I'm doing
you had,
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
you had a higher mitzvah rate than I
higher
did.
mitzvah.
Per yarmulke.
They were so fun.
I just started substitute teaching. So when you talked about like little girl getting in trouble, I had this girl last week. I was teaching in the Bronx, and it was 3rd grade. And at the beginning of the day, another girl accused her of stealing her $6. And then she was like, no, I would never do that. And she got upset and she started crying. And I'm like, yeah, that reads right. And I don't think she did steal the money. But at the end of the day, this same girl who was accused attacked a boy. She almost threw him, like judo threw him on the concrete. And then she called him the F slur. And then she said, I'm going to bring in a knife, you little pussy. Like, so I had to tell the principal. It was like a whole thing.
So you're like, maybe she did steal the $6.
No, actually, I think her getting accused it triggered her.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
I think that's what happens. A lot of kids are innocent, but then they get just put into the system and they just changes them.
Right.
Like there was a TV show called The Night Of, where it's like basically that concept, but like for real prison, where the guy's like he gets accused of murder and he goes to Rikers because he can't afford bail during that time, and then he just gets initiated into the gangs and starts smoking meth, and afterwards he's innocent, but his life's just ruined forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like the Eminem song. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, why would you say I am? The radio won't even play my jam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Healthy way.
I love Eminem.
Were you ever wrongly accused of something?
That's a really good question. Yes, I think many times, but one that sticks out in recent history was like at my first job out of college, it was so toxic, the culture at this company. And it was a private equity firm. It was like super hoity-toity.
Shocker. Private
Right.
equity is toxic.
Right. Shocker. And it was like, a cult of personality, as a lot of them are, these startups. And my boss like hated me. She was just like such a girl boss. And so I could tell she just had it out for me because I was kind of sparkly and she was like miserable and like hated everything and everyone. And I was like the sparkly new snack in the office, like 22 years old, like bright eyed. And like she just, and I didn't know, I think, how to temper that and make that like more corporate. So looking back, I totally understand, being like this fucking bitch, you know what I mean? But for me, I was just like, why does she hate me so much? I'm being so friendly. Like I'm being a hard worker. Like I thought I was doing well, and she just continued to like berate me. But anyway, she one day, I was just at the office, just like doing what I needed to do. And she was like, she invited me into her like specific office, and she's like, look, like, I think you should go home. And I was like,
Whoa.
What? I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you seem a little like unwell, like kind of suggesting I was hungover. And I like wasn't. And like the irony was like, a lot of the times I had been, but like, or like I'm fucking 22,
This
23.
is my week off. I'm
Right. Like ironically, I was sober as a Sally. I had gone to bed at probably 8:30. Then I was like, it made me feel crazy. I was like, what is my perception of reality? Like, I was doing my job just fine. Like, and maybe like my hair wasn't okay or something. Like, I don't know what the thing was, but I remember saying to her, like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm fine. I was like, I had a cold like last week, but like, sis, I've been good. Like, what's going on? And she was just like, we both know you need to like go. And I was like, it was the most like maddening feeling. And I can't, to this day, this fucking bitch triggers me. Like, I think back a lot about it. And I'm just like, you were so wrong about me, and you made me think I was a fucking bad kid. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of made me feel
how much older was she than you at the time?
So she was probably like 36, 35, 36, 37, somewhere in there, like elder millennial peak fucking bullshit. And I was just like, sometimes I just think about just running into her and being like, you're a fucking cunt. You know that? You're a fucking cunt to me.
You want to act it out real quick?
Yeah. No, I mean, we can if you'd like.
Let's do it. All right, you.
Okay.
What's her name? Or you make up a fake name for her.
Okay, let's say Patty.
All right, I'm going to be Patty.
Okay.
All right, you ready? I'm going to be walking down the street real quick.
Okay.
Kitty? Is that you?
Patty!
Oh my God, it's so good to see you.
Yeah.
How have you been? We miss you.
How's it been? See, look, I'm a pussy.
Spare change.
In the real moment,
Spare change.
I'm being nice. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, it's been so long. You know?
You look so good. We miss you at Johnson, Johnson, and Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, you know, it's been a few years. See, I can't.
Oh, you can't.
I can't actually call.
Can I eat your donut?
Yeah. And yeah. We're so
background.
glad you went to rehab. That's what we'd like to hear. That you finally got clean.
I was never an addict.
No, you were always sleeping around. You know, literally, not figuratively. But I heard figuratively too.
And I would, you know what I would really say? Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe I would do something like shock value and pull it. I'd be like, you know, I was sleeping with Jared.
Jared.
Which is a pseudonym. But I would just be like, you know, you didn't really have as much you didn't know me like you thought you knew me.
What would she have had to have done for you to take some dog shit off the sidewalk and grab her Lululemons and put it down the front?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, she has done something to me that would warrant that.
Really?
Because she also so she knew I was leaving the company. We were all getting like bonuses and it was super late. It was supposed to be end of year. We were getting it in like March. And so it was just like, when's it coming? When's it coming? And I had it on good record that I was going to get between $5,000 and $10,000.
Ooh,
That's nice.
That's a big chunk of change at that age too.
Right.
Big chunk of change now.
And I still to this day have awful student loans. My rent and student loans always make me like break even for like my entire 20s. So I was just like, this is going to be sick. This is going to be life changing.
Yeah.
This is life. I'm coming into money. I'm coming into wealth.
That speedboat.
Right.
Yeah.
And she knew I was going to leave the company in like a month, or like she knew I was looking, and she absorbed my bonus into hers and made it like a part of the operations bonus, not like me on the operations team. Like it wasn't my line item.
Wow.
And she made it hers and was just like, yeah, no, that was like that was sanctioned for the whole team, even though I knew it was like supposed to be my name. I saw emails, like I had a fucking spy in the email.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I have it on good record. Like Kit was to make this.
You could probably taken her to claims court.
Right? And I ended up the next company I went to. Sorry, this is such a corporate.
No, we like to get to know our guests.
This is so
Don't
fucking
worry.
annoying.
We're gonna get weird. Don't worry.
Okay.
Trust me.
Good. The next company I went to, I like talked to the HR people and I was like, what would you suggest I do about this? Like, I feel really wronged. And she was kind of like, you can try to, like, basically I had a few emails back and forth to try to see if there was any recourse, but like, there was nothing I could do.
God damn.
Fucking whore.
That sucks.
Yeah, so maybe I would fucking put shit down her pants.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, that's worth $10,000.
That's definitely worth $10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Especially during COVID times, you have a mask on, so she wouldn't know it was you. You could have done it.
Yeah.
But then you pull it down a little bit so she knows it's you. But it's like, you know, when she tries reporting everybody, I was like, no, Kitty's great. She's a comedian. Everybody loves her.
She was so
She would
friendly.
never do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just play like the long game. You start breaking into her house at night, leave like a little bit of dog poop at the edge of her bed.
You just really start to fuck with her.
Yeah, just like, and every day the dog poop gets a little bit bigger. Just like
Yeah.
You ever see Amelie?
Yes.
She does a great job of fucking with people in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, how could I fuck with her? You know what the weird thing is too? One time she had like an apartment in DC that she was like renting out, and she was like trying to make me rent it out.
That's weird.
And I was like, no, like my lease isn't up, like whatever. And I was like, was she trying to like spy on me? Like, did she want to have just like a handle on me all the time? It was very bizarre.
That is strange.
It was really weird, and I fucking hate her.
Yeah. Well, I hope she listens to the Sean and Andrew Blow Up podcast. That's our awesome transition. Today we're joined by Kitty Reynolds, who hates this woman Patty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck Patty.
I was just trying to think,
Patty.
like, what could you? I mean, obviously, I don't suggest you do this, but I was like, what if you made like a burner LinkedIn for a company that doesn't exist, and then you pretend to hire her to the extent that she quits her position and then disappear? I wonder how.
Yeah, you hire actors so she comes in for interviews every day.
Rent out an office.
Yeah, like an old thinking like, no, we're a cutting edge startup fintech. You're making double what you make, and then she shows up and none of it ever existed.
Whoa.
Right?
It's like Catfish 2.0.
Yeah.
Even more sinister.
Real psyops, you know.
You could really go crazy.
Yeah.
You could really.
But revenge is never good, right?
No.
It's a little good.
And then you
sometimes.
feel like it feels good to like think about the revenge, but whenever it happens, you don't.
Yeah.
That's why I really am. Like, I never am very confrontational. I just have my little things that I manage internally, and I just like to make fun of people and judge them, and that's how I live. But I'll never really make it someone else's problem.
Yeah. I mean, they say what the best revenge is living well, right?
Yeah, living
Right.
living well is the best revenge. The problem is every now and then their life is still better than yours. Then regular revenge can come in. And then
Right.
then you cut off like
No, then you just need to focus more on your life and making it
No,
better.
what you do is you go and you take all their shoes and you sand one down in, so eventually they tear their Achilles tendon.
Whoa.
So
I've never heard of that one.
That's
No, yeah, you
crazy.
do it so they're just always landing improperly, and after enough steps, you'll just rupture this thing, and that's an 8-month injury.
Now we're talking.
Yeah,
That's deep.
Are you guys like, do you feel like you hold grudges and stuff?
no, I really don't.
Trying to
But
think. Not really. No. I used to more though.
it's one of
Yeah.
those like if I'm done with you, I'm just like I'm done with this person.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, fuck them, and I literally just don't think about them again.
I think I'm getting to that point, but maybe it's just because my frontal lobe is like developing.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what it is, but
Fully functioning person at this point.
yeah. Or I just set better boundaries where I make it so that like out of sight, out of mind, so I never fucking care again.
Yeah.
It's also weird to have like a rival as an adult. Where
Right.
it's like, why are you hanging out with this person? Like, I mean, outside of work, like settings or
Right, grow
whatever.
up and
It's like
just
having a
pivot.
hero, you know, like this guy's my hero, and you're 46.
It's like, yeah.
It's like you gotta figure it out. You gotta be your own hero, babe.
Stop wearing adults on your t-shirts.
Yeah, you can't.
Right.
Yeah, well, you can't.
Like, I love Eli Manning. He's
Yeah.
my hero.
Well, no, Eli Manning's my forever hero. That's okay. He's a real. Here's the thing. You can't have
He is a good
You can't be
guy.
like close in age to your hero, though. You know, like if you got like if I was like suddenly like, man, I love Anthony Edwards. He's my hero, and he's 7 years younger than me right now. And I'm like,
Right.
That's
It can't be a
weird.
peer.
Yeah, it can't be somebody like on the same level with, you know.
Yeah.
I feel that way about comedy, where it's like, there's a lot of people like I like who are, but I'm like, it's weird that we're like the same age, and I see you
Right.
sometimes, you know.
Right.
But Andrew's my hero.
I am.
Yeah.
The Heroes podcast.
You ever know that
You're my hero.
Okay, that's enough of that.
That was a good little harmony.
Oh, we're gonna sing. Well, we'll have a song at some
Yeah,
point.
we're gonna do a
That's
song.
part of it. Yeah, we don't tell our guests what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm excited for the twists and turns.
Let's take it back. We like talking about like high school age. So you're a little Long Island, known for a couple things. Alcoholism, one of them prominently. I assume there was a lot of drinking. Was there like was there a big incident at your high school?
With drinking?
Drinking or a party or something where like things went crazy.
Nothing sticks out. There were a lot of, I would say, mid-size like drinking dramas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of just like the occasional car crash, the occasional, drunk driving incident or something. But like they're really like no one died of anything. It was kind of just like big parties, like someone's mom came home and then you run. Like
Yeah.
the spice of life.
Yeah, back when it was like
good stuff.
When it's still like, oh, there's just shenanigans, but nobody gets hurt.
Yes.
Not a crime.
No, and a lot of beach shenanigans
Yeah.
because I'm North Shore, so like we'd have a lot of like a lot of kids had like boats and shit, and we'd like go to little coves.
fun.
Yeah.
And so it's all kind of peaceful because you're just in the sand with the pals, some bonfires and things.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like cute and like
I went to this like hippie senior year program that they had up in Westchester where I grew up.
Yeah.
And it was funny. They were very like anti-drugs, and we had these backpacking trips. Instead of gym, we'd go for 1 week's like long trips, 2 of them. One of them in the Catskills, one in the Adirondack wilderness. And the teachers were just like, yeah, if you have any weed, you're going to be sent home, which is funny because all the teachers had definitely done lots of
Yeah.
acid.
Yeah.
Like they were all like, oh,
Right.
And my buddy Frank, who wasn't my friend then, he was smoking weed, and they caught him, but they didn't have any evidence, so he denied.
Smart.
And
Gotta do that.
His eyes are as red as the devil's dick. He's like, no, I just have allergies.
Yeah.
But
Hand in a Cheetos bag.
Yeah.
but they let him stay, and then a couple nights later, he disappeared. They couldn't find him, and he got attacked by a bear in the woods, and it didn't kill him, luckily. But he was like he was kind of like split open, and they luckily found him before he bled out, and he had all his weed around, so they sent him home.
Oh my god!
Well, the bear was right
wild
because he had
story.
weed on him. He's supposed to attack somebody that's weed.
Right, the bear knew what to do.
The bear, it was Smokey the bear, and he's like, "You're not starting a fucking forest fire in my forest."
Yeah.
He mauled him to death.
Is Smokey just a stoner?
Right.
Yeah,
he wanted the
yeah,
weed.
He's running operations. That's why he doesn't let anybody else bring weed into the forest. That's his territory.
Do you think Okay, here we go. New conspiracy theory alert. Do you think maybe Smokey the Bear was created by like sort of a young hippie marketing kind of kid,
Yeah.
like
The 80s yuppie.
right? Like someone like working for the suits, just being like, you know what, Smokey the Bear, he's like kind of a fucking hippie, he's kind of a stoner, and it works with Smokey.
Yeah, I think so.
You know,
Like
fire
Puff the Magic
safety.
Dragon.
Yeah,
That was a weird
Yeah,
thing.
There's a
exactly.
That's multiple leveled like entendres where it's like
Yes, we're talking
Yeah,
entendres.
exactly. But like it was originally like, man, I'm gonna be pro weed. Everybody should be at least smoky. But then like corporations took over and said, actually, he's gonna make people stop smoking.
It's like, hey,
You
only
control them because he's like, don't do it.
the
Right.
original phrase was, "Hey, only you can prevent harsh vibes." That was
the original Smokey.
And then it was like, "How about forest fires?"
Yeah, and then
they're
they
like,
sent
"Yeah,
Smokey to
good."
rehab, and he's like,
Yeah.
actually, only you can prevent forest fires. And I agree. I mean, and now he's a cop basically.
Full character development.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever set stuff on fire?
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
Yes, I was a pyro.
I was
Hell yeah.
I was a Boy Scout. All it is just burning things until you get caught. Like that's the entire thing. It's the one kid gets molested in the back, and the rest of us are setting fun things on fire.
You got molested in your Boy Scout troop.
No one in mine, but there was like the adjacent one, and there was a whole investigation into this
Really?
guy. Yeah. I don't think they ever put him away, but I think they caught him with some CP.
Oh wow,
And,
that's scary.
That's
yeah.
disgusting.
Well, I mean, where are you supposed to meet somebody if you're? It's one of those like, if you're a bad person who does the sexual things to minors, you got to meet somebody somewhere. There's no like discotheque you can go to, so you take a fun job, you know. And it's like I like working with kids. I enjoy the outdoors, and
Jesus. Kitty, what did you light on fire?
yeah. What's the worst thing you burned?
We almost burnt like the parish center of our church.
Whoa.
Because we like had a candle in the middle of the table. The teacher walks out of the room, and I was like, "How quickly can a napkin light on fire? Ha ha ha! Pretty fast." I throw the napkin, lands on the carpet. It starts like going on fire.
shit.
Me and some of the other girls start stomping it out because it's like 5 girls on a Wednesday night, like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh my God, oh my God. And then we put it out and it was fine.
Nice.
But I like the drama of saying I almost, burnt it to the
Oh
ground.
yeah. Well, if you just need like it to catch one one curtain and it goes straight
Right,
up.
it could have been
and,
bad.
And then you're now in jail for life because you burned down a church. That's a hate
right.
crime.
Me and my friend Dusty got crazy with it because we had a bottle of lighter fluid, and we used to throw it in the toilet bowl and then set the toilet on fire and light and then flush it. And I remember we lit up half of his kitchen floor, the linoleum with lighter fluid, and we also set off fireworks in the house.
Yep.
Like big
In the
fireworks,
house?
like the ones that like shoot way up in the sky, and we had to like duck and cover under the blankets, and it was pretty crazy.
Where did they land? Like in the house?
I think they like set part of the carpet on fire, but like it wasn't that bad. It was just noisy and like full of smoke. And
Oh my God.
No, it did make me think there was one kid, he did burn his house down for playing with fires. But he did it the even dumber way, where like he actually did the same thing where he brought M80s into his house. Nothing happened. He fell asleep while making a DiGiorno pizza. And the oven took off and it burned the entire house down. It was
Holy shit.
Everybody was fine. All the people lived. But yeah, now
Wow, and DiGiorno's not even worth it. Like you should get Elio's or
I know
like
we
Celeste.
lived in New York too. It's like you can get a better pizza,
Right.
Like pretty quickly. But
Right.
it's not delivery, it's arson.
Sometimes I do like frozen pizza though, specifically.
yeah,
Trader
know?
Joe's has good frozen pizza.
Yes.
Do you ever have the one with the goat cheese that they used to have? They stopped making it.
No, I used to have the arugula prosciutto when I lived near a TJ's. We're fucking in the desert over here.
yeah. Well, we're getting a Target coming in.
We are?
Yeah, right on the corner there.
Shut up.
You haven't seen like it's been going on for like a year and a half.
I thought they
No,
pulled
because I
out.
don't really walk up here a lot.
Okay.
Like I go down to QED.
Yeah.
And like I never come up to Ditmars unless I'm at like Claude's or
Yeah,
something.
but on the corner of right by the train station is supposed to be a
We
Target.
also have a Lidl, which is basically a Trader Joe's.
Okay, I gotta check out the
Lidl's
Lidl.
great,
Trader Joe's would be nice around here.
but it's like if
Over
you don't-
yonder.
If you don't have a car, it's like 2 blocks that way.
That's the thing. It's the car thing.
Yeah.
I'm near Seatown, which
It's
all right.
it's good enough.
It's small.
Gets the job done,
Yeah.
but it's small.
This area is so good because we have the Mediterranean supermarket. We have Berry Fresh, which is pretty good.
Yeah, Berry Fresh is
Yeah.
good.
And then there's like a couple delis. The Green Market next to the Story of Ditmars is good. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
That
about.
place
That's
is
a good
great.
one. Yeah.
There's
Fuck.
a lot of good
I gotta
shit.
move.
I know this
Yeah.
area is good, and there's parking too, which is nice.
Yeah, dude. The story of fucking ruled so
I
hard.
love Astoria.
I was like, I have no desire to really kind of ever leave it until I'm priced out.
The only thing that makes me is like, oh, I wish like my friends lived up here. Like a lot of them are still
they
like
Brooklyn-y?
hesitant. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
They're Brooklyn. Like even when they come up here, they like it. They know it's like cheaper and like a better lifestyle, but they can't. They're just like very much normies and they're transplants.
Yeah.
Love them to death. But I don't think they'll ever come up to Astoria.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad. Is that I'll probably be kind of like not alone up here. Like I have
Yeah.
comedian friends, but like my core group,
Right,
right,
I
right.
think will always be in Brooklyn. So I'm like, I got to get a car at the very least
Yeah.
to make this sustainable.
Or that, or we just get somebody to finally build a goddamn train between the two biggest
Right.
boroughs.
Right.
It's just like,
Fucking right.
They're never gonna hang out Queens and Brooklyn. This is the 1940s. They don't need a train between. It's all these damn Greeks and all these goddamn
Right.
Italians. They don't get along well.
Isn't it like kind of a racist thing that they didn't want to connect them?
Yeah, 100%. They don't.
Yeah.
That's just. It's the same reason why like going out to Long Island, all the bridges are super low because the buses can't come out because
Yes.
of Robert Moses.
On Northern State.
yeah.
Robert Moses was the most autistic man like to ever live because he was brilliant in the way of how to design roading and like he figured out the entire mass transit system of America. But he was also a massive racist.
Yes.
Like he put like the entire thing like through the Bronx and all areas of people of color, and also just built every bridge low but like really sustainable. So it would cost like $10 billion now to redo all these bridges. Like it would
Right.
be so fucking
I
expensive.
didn't know racism was an autistic obsession.
It is a little bit
like
yeah.
dinosaurs and trains.
Yeah, they're like
It's like the way Goebbels made the campaign. It was so brilliant. It was so cool.
it really
Depends
really
on the
is.
flavor of the tism you got. You got the racistism, you got the train tism,
Racism.
Racism.
you got the Rain Man tism, where you're good at gambling.
That's the best one, I think. You just see the numbers.
That would be sick.
Yeah, God, it's just landing a parlay perfectly, but you can't like eat watermelon.
It would be so cool to learn how to count cards. Yeah. But then, you could go to jail. But
I don't think you go to jail.
You
Like,
go to
just-
casino
yeah,
jail.
Yeah, you go to casino jail, which is usually just a guy beats you up.
yeah.
I think I could. That's fine.
Did you
Right.
see that Wes Anderson movie that they put on Netflix where the guy can like see through cards?
Oh yeah, the
No.
short film.
And he's just like a rich guy who wants to get richer, and then like he learns this meditation that gives him a superpower where he can like see through things. Like he painstakingly like becomes a meditation master just
Okay.
to make money, and then he kind of realizes like he doesn't give a fuck anymore.
And then once he reaches the enlightenment part, it's like, oh, that's actually what it's all about.
and he builds like a big charity and distributes
Wow.
money.
Is it
to
worth
kids.
watching?
It's
Yeah,
great.
it's only like
Okay.
40 minutes long too.
It's
Yeah,
really good.
Ooh, okay, I'm going to put this on my list.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Cumberbatch.
Zaddy.
You want like a good, like terrible to watch, but this is a very good show. I watched Baby Reindeer. It's a very relatable because it's about a comedian who gets a stalker and like a female. It's a male comedian who gets a female stalker, and it's like the darkest show ever because it's very realistic of what happens to him. Where he gets like 10,000 emails from her. Like letters, and just follows her, goes to comedy show after comedy show. Like because at first he just starts with him seeing like a woman in distress, and he's working at a bar, and he's like, "Oh, you hear a cup of coffee?" And he's nice to her, seems like, and then
Yeah.
she just follows him around for 4 years, and it's based on.
I need to watch
It's based on a
this.
true story. It also features the most accurate depiction of bombing at comedy I've ever seen in my entire life, because he goes.
I don't need to see that.
No, he goes to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and he's just in this empty room. And he goes, "Hey, are you guys gonna turn off the TV?" He's just like, "No, man, there's soccer on," and he just bombs so hard. It's a good show, very dark.
I need to watch this.
Yeah,
I really, I'm, stalkers find me.
yeah.
I'm prone to stalkers.
I
It's a very weird thread. of my life.
Yeah.
Like randomly here and there. So I need to watch because I feel like it'll make me paranoid.
I was gonna say, yeah, for you, I'd be really kind of, you're a woman in comedy, and that's already hard. And then it's like,
Yeah.
and then you've done pretty well so far, and like you get more followers. It's like a whole
Right.
other dynamic, right?
The followers really widen the pool.
Yeah.
They really randomize the sample. Some of the things that they say are vile. Some of them are just like very sweet, and they're just like, "Please marry me," like something funny, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Thanks so much, making my day." And then like sometimes they're like really like weird and vile, and some people scare me to the frequency to which they message me, like
See, I think
multiple times a day.
So maybe don't watch this show. It might
Yeah.
be triggering.
Don't
yeah.
watch.
Like I have several men who like I check my hidden requests like every few months to see like if I'm missing like a brand thing or something.
right.
And like some guys like it'll say like new message and I'll look and it's like,
Hey, how are you?
high
This is hilarious.
frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
sucks.
do I block that person? Like, I don't want to piss them off, but like, also,
No, I block them.
You think block?
Yeah. for
I
sure.
think they also go into
or
that
at least
too.
like hide stories,
They also-
maybe.
that might be your
Maybe
move.
I just hide stories.
Yeah, I guess
It's just weird.
it is kind of nice to be a dude because I stayed with my like I literally on the road I would like sleep at my Instagram followers' houses, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, yeah, I'll hang out with you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
it is weird being as a large dude. Where it's like, what do you mean? New York's so safe. Everybody like everybody always walks away from me. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I one time had a Lyft driver before they used to protect your phone number. I had a Lyft driver who he drove me on like a 40-minute ride. So we were just like chatting, like, and he would call me like afterwards, like many times in a row, many times a day,
Oh,
like,
God.
and leaving me messages like, I think we have a connection,
God.
like I need to see you. And I was like, I had to block him.
Yeah.
Luckily he stopped there. Like once I blocked, it was over. But really weird. Where I was like, you know where I live too, because like you picked me up.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I was telling him like what I do for a living. Like I'm giving
Hey, I go to this place
information.
all the time, and
Yeah.
I'm
I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way to this job and at this address. And
it's-
so it's annoying though, because I feel like I have a bleeding heart and I feel like I really do.
empathetic to these people.
Yes.
Because usually they're not malicious. It's like a
Right. And they seem
like
vulnerable.
a mental illness type thing where they don't have the proper social skills.
Right.
Or
And I'm
just
just like,
desperation.
Yeah.
right. Or like loneliness, whatever
Yeah.
it is, they feel they have a parasocial relationship with me.
Yeah, because they see your things and they're laughing at your comedy or whatever, and like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, it's a problem with podcasts in general. Is everybody feels like they're your friends, and like
Right.
it's a one-sided conversation.
Yes.
Which way, if you follow us here, well, you can stalk Andrew and I any day of the week.
No, you
honestly.
can't. Don't stalk me.
You can stalk
Let's
me.
all be as unlikable and uncharming as possible for the rest of the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
That sucks.
I don't like seafood anyway, so.
Really? That's,
Yeah,
you're
it's
living on the
really
island.
childish and embarrassing. But it's a texture thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit right with me.
Okay.
I try it often to check back
just to
in,
get
try to
yeah, I still hate
improve,
But there's so many different textures within seafood.
but they all freak me out. And they all happen to fucking freak me out. I can have moments where I'm okay with a tuna salad. You know what I mean? I can go through phases in life where I can do like a galamad or calamari for the listeners at home, and for the non-Italian viewer,
Galamad.
a little fucking galamad, and then like scallops, I'll check back in. I've tried sashimi. I've tried sushi, caviar. I'm actually kind of okay with caviar if I don't
that's
think
not
about it too
seafood,
hard.
I like the
Technically,
salmon roe. I like the salmon eggs.
Oh, those scare me.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever
What
had
about shrimp tempura?
Would love me some shrimp tempura.
Could eat it, but it's just not something that I would like
Yeah.
do on my. I would like when I look at a menu, I'm just not attracted to the seafood.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't connect with it. I wonder if something happened in a past life
Yeah.
to me in a scallop. Like I don't know.
Like you were eaten by fish this last time.
Yeah.
My wife has.
You
I was a
were-
mermaid.
You were a mob wife, and then you stuck out, and they made you sleep with the fishes. But,
Right, they made me like they stuffed galamad in my
Yeah,
mouth, and they
ugh.
were like, "Fuck you."
What's the worst fish? What's the one that like really freaks you out?
Really good question. I would say like clams.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
Oysters. Sorry.
Oysters.
Oysters.
Like raw oysters.
That is a weird texture. I get
And
that.
I look at it and I'm like, what is the deal here? How are people like I can't but like I genuinely can't empathize with wanting to eat it.
I mean,
And
people have
people
oral
go
sex,
crazy
so it's the
for
same
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing.
Right.
And the oysters are aphrodisiacs, too.
That's what they say.
True.
I think they just say that because it's
They want-
similar
they want
to
to sell
oral
more,
sex.
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe there's a conspiracy there where like like the government subsidized oysters and they were like,
I mean, it is basically bugs. They're basically sea bugs.
Really?
Like shrimp are basically cockroaches
Yeah.
of the sea. Same with crabs.
That's like one of the things that kind of paranoids me is how they always say we're going to have to eat nothing but bugs in the future because of like how bad farming's getting with just like so we're not going to have the food if everybody, so we're going to have to just switch to cockroaches all the time.
yeah.
When I was
I don't think I'd like that.
18 in Thailand, I told a friend that I would eat a giant water bug if he bought it for me, like on a dare or whatever, and he did. And for like 20 minutes, I was trying to psych myself up. I'm like, maybe I need a soda. And he bought me a soda. I'm like, he was like, come on, you said you were going to do it. And I finally forced myself to do it. And it was pretty bad. I mean, it had like giant wings and like sharp little feet. But I will say, in the back, there is like a little bit of meat that is kind of like crab or tuna that wasn't bad.
Interesting.
It seems like a lot to get there, though.
Yeah.
That is like my worst nightmare. I have meat trust issues as well.
Meat trust issues.
Yes.
All right, so there's a lot of dietary
Yeah, we could go in.
That's a good name for a comedy album.
Yes.
I like that, yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna write that down. I'm not gonna forget that.
We get 1% of royalties, though.
Yeah,
we don't.
MTI, meat trust issues. Because I worked at Subway.
Oh, that's
As
not
a
meat.
teen.
That's not meat.
Yeah, and it was very alarming, and it really freaked me out. And now I have to like cook the meat, like it has to be #local. You know what I mean? I'm like very prissy, and I don't like a lot. Like I won't eat a lot of chicken or like things out. Chicken specifically.
Cook it yourself. Is it better?
Yes, because I just need to know the source.
Right.
Okay, that's
Because
fair.
really the problem with Subway is that they got all of their ingredients from Cisco, and Cisco runs the world, and people don't realize it. Like it literally is the food in every single restaurant and every single cafeteria, unless they source elsewhere.
All frozen, all factory
Yes,
farmed.
it's disgusting, and people think they're buying different fucking food.
Yeah.
It's like with makeup when like just different brands slap their label on. Like it's so fucking annoying to me, and I don't know why there hasn't been like a documentary about. Maybe I'll make the fucking documentary,
go.
and it'll be called Meat Trust Issues.
There you
Yes,
go.
and I'll go up to the fucking farmers and be like, "Where's the chickens? You know,
Yeah.
show me the chickens." And so yeah, that's my whole rant.
Maybe you could get Cisco to do the soundtrack to the documentary.
Yeah. That meat, the meat.
Ooh, that meat so scandalous.
Kitty can't handle this.
Oh my god, I need to. And I have a real love for documentaries.
Yeah.
Maybe this would combine all my interests.
Yeah.
And it would be so fucking random. I love that.
Yeah,
Just
that'd
be
be
like,
fucking
do you
great.
see Kitty put out a documentary about chicken?
And Cisco from the 90s also scored it.
It's like, is she okay? That's what I want. I want to put out content where people are like, is she okay? This was so bonkers. Like,
I want to do a comedy special that's just called Hedonism 3,
Oh, that's
where I'm like,
We talked about
I'm doing cocaine in it on stage. I'm having sex with men and women in different parts in the set while I'm telling
There's an
jokes.
orgy.
I'm just
Yeah.
fucking. I'm like, yeah, what's the fucking deal with Cisco? you know?
smoking a cigarette, fucking a dude.
I want to do it, but I don't want my in-laws to see it.
well,
So.
you guys partner with
Right,
OnlyFans.
It's always
Is that-
that's truly what holds me back is I don't want my in-laws to think less of me.
That's completely fair because it's just like that thing of like people are really more open with strangers than they are with like intimate loved ones because like you fear that judgment of like something you, like I don't know if you've ever had this like if your parents or somebody saw you on stage and they ask you about a story or something you said and it was like I don't want to talk about how I got there actually my meat trust issue is my joke issue where the stories come from there.
Right.
I'm like I don't want to like they're like did you really do that and I'm like yeah.
I mean, just do what Neil Young does and just like I just let it speak for itself.
That's fair.
You know, just don't talk to me
It
about
is
my
what you
art.
want it to be.
Yeah.
My queef joke is my art. Do not talk to me about it.
I will not speak further on the queef joke. I've told you
It
guys.
queefs for itself.
Actually, the title of this episode.
That's really good. Yeah, just leave it out there.
Yeah, but we're talking about moving, like to Astoria, moving different places. Like I'm contemplating, because I moved here for food because there's so many good supermarkets.
Yes.
And restaurants. But now I'm going on tour in Europe, and I'm like, me and my wife are both kind of open to the idea. She's getting her Italian citizenship. So we're kind of open to the idea of maybe living there, at least for a couple of years.
That'd be so sick.
Plus, there's like a lot of good paid comedy gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever done comedy overseas?
I did it in Ireland.
Oh,
How was that?
It was fun, but it was honestly like an American crowd. Like it was tourists.
Yeah.
And they were from like LA, North Carolina. I was like, oh, this is just a normal show.
Yeah.
It was really fun to like see the Irish comics and like their style. But yeah, the actual comedy was the same.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with going to any other city that's not New York or LA too, you know, controversial, but they don't get as many reps.
Yeah.
So they're just like not as
Yeah, like they're like I always feel like
they're funny, but they're like younger in comedy. It feels
that's 100% where like I went
Yeah.
over last year and it just everybody seemed like they were still like in 2012 doing stand up.
Right.
Where it's like I was just like I've heard this joke before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like really, really good, but yeah, some I was like, oh, this is like going to it like a JV city in the States,
Right,
like
yeah.
in terms of the quality. But back to the Italy thing, because I always dream of like, you know, getting away from as we all do, like dream of getting away, starting over, whatever. But specifically, I was thinking, it doesn't fucking matter to be in New York now because all you have to do is make content.
Yeah.
And how cool would it be to make funny ass content about being a fucking, you know, expat?
My buddy does that. Nya, do you know Nya? He's in
No.
Berlin now, and he makes funny content about being
Oh,
American.
I have seen him.
Yeah.
He's like an older kind of like, is he?
No, he's
is
not
he a
that
gay
old.
guy?
No.
Oh,
he's
never
like
mind.
late 20s guy from. He's from
Okay,
here. but-
different guy.
different guy. Eh.
Different guy. Different
Yeah.
Berlin
Nah,
guy.
yeah, you can just make shit anywhere now.
But yeah,
It's
some
like,
of his videos go viral. It's just about living in Berlin as an American.
Right.
yeah.
So like, go off. I think I probably have to be here for life
Yeah.
Yeah.
or LA. Because I want a job. You know, I
Yeah.
want a job in it. I want an entertainment job.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I mean, don't we all? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people want like tours though, and I don't like really yearn for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't really yearn for like some sort of like arena moment. I
Yeah.
really just want to make ha-has on set with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's-
Like that's what I want.
yeah, like I want to make film with comedy movies really more
Yeah.
than anything. But I'm like, but I also like doing stand up enough where it's like I kind of want to be able to. The idea is like the stand up touring would fuel the movie that I put out. That then I can tour the movie a little bit. So-
Okay, so they're like sort of.
Yeah, like that's in my head where it's like that's where I get popular to stand up. Like, oh, now I'm making my own film. It's The Machine 2, but funny.
Yeah.
and then yeah, it just kind of keep it. Let's make like basically a production company of my own.
Hey, listen,
And
don't shit on Burt Kreischer.
I like Burt Kreischer. Just the movie wasn't good.
I know, but what
didn't
if
see
he
the movie.
hears this?
If he hears
Yeah.
this, I will drop to my knees and start blowing him
Okay, Sean.
in front of his wife.
All right.
You heard it, Bert. You heard it
Bert,
here
Bert,
first.
you want
Yeah.
something good, honey? I'll show you what's up.
Your movie's terrible, but your dick is great.
I actually feel like that's not true either. It's not terrible. It's just not as not good.
All right, let's make a movie together. Let's write it.
let's
Let's
pitch
come
Okay.
up with the beginnings of
Right
the,
here?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
If we made a movie together.
So I started writing like a show. Should I start? No.
No,
I'm not
let's
gonna
go.
give it
This
all.
is, this is our idea right together.
Okay.
This is
triumvirate
a new,
creation.
a new child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm seeing. Really,
All right. Opening scene. I think we're at a seafood restaurant.
and we're all two-dimensional.
Okay. We're at Abu Kir.
Yeah,
Abu Kir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Abu Kir.
What about 2D people?
2D.
Like we're literally in the flat world.
We're all flat.
We're all flat.
Okay, we're flat.
And we finally found each other. We're, walking down Steinway.
And
Yeah.
are the majority of the other people 3D?
Everyone else
Everyone else
is
is
3D. We're the
3D.
only
Just us
three
in the world.
flat
Yeah.
people.
And so we're like, and we get down and we cut to interior seafood restaurant.
Right.
Yes.
And we're all asking, can you guys feed us? We can't
Right.
hold things.
Yeah.
And we're like this, and sort of people are kind of side-eyeing, like,
Yeah.
You
and
know.
we see people being a little uncomfortable with us, and maybe we're uncomfortable to meet each other.
Yeah.
But after a while, you see us getting drunk, we're laughing together.
Yeah, we're laughing, we're making jokes.
We're the first people who understands each other's
Man.
plights.
Yeah, we were making fun of all these dimensionies out here. Man, you got 3 dimensions out here?
Yeah. We're like,
Oh, you walking around with 2 feet?
Y'all need to go on that-
all bum the astral plane.
I'm like,
Dimension
I'll show you
diet.
my phalange,
Yeah.
and yeah, you know.
I guess we can eat as much as we want. And we don't have to worry about gaining weight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're literally paper thin.
What's the
already, so-
conflict? We got to lobby
Well, here's
for
the thing.
2D
Then-
rights.
I think we're fighting for 2D rights, and then we meet 5th dimensional beings.
What? Who's fifth dimension?
We meet 5th dimension. Those are our adversaries, right?
Oh.
They're the ones who oppress everybody below them because they have the most amount of dimensions.
Okay. Let's fuse this. So
Okay.
the 2D people, and perhaps inspired by real life, the 2D people, we start to say, okay, we got to make some change. There could be other people out here. Let's make their lives better. You know, that's what we decide drunk over Abu Kir.
Yeah.
And then we're making headway. We have some campaigns. We cut to sort of exterior shots of us at the Lincoln Memorial,
Love this.
Yeah.
speeches. You know what I mean? We're like,
A bunch of 1D dots are in the audience.
Yes,
us in the
yes.
White House, like,
Yeah.
You know?
One of us is shaking hands with Barack Obama for some reason.
Yes.
And he's 40.
right, Janet Yellen,
yeah.
you know?
Janet Yellen, yeah.
And then, like, some time passes, and we see on, like, social media the 5D.
Yeah.
And they're lobbying, too. And people are, like, getting us confused with them. They want us to merge activism campaigns,
Yeah.
perhaps. And we're like, yo, we're not 5D. We don't
Right.
know anything about 5D.
Exactly.
And 5D's like, well, you guys have been making some headway, and we could just, like, ride on your coattails.
And then,
And then QAnon is in the street and like 5D gives you cancer.
yeah.
And we're like, well, they're not that bad, but they're not us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And then we, like, start defending 5D, even though we were reluctant at first.
Yeah. And we realize
But
none of
we're
us
like,
are-
they need us too.
And then we realize actually, no matter how many dimensions you have, we're all still one creature of the of
Right.
the universe.
Right.
Really. And then
And yes, what we're lobbying for isn't really 2D acceptance, it's acceptance overall.
acceptance for
Right.
everybody.
Acceptance for
And then we
everyone.
merge into one
Cute
blob.
tearjerker moment.
Yeah, dude. And then Tom Hanks is like, "I have AIDS," and everybody cries.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Gotta be in there.
Yeah.
I didn't
Gotta
see
be in there.
Philadelphia. Did
Phil,
you see
I watched
I
it
saw it
recently.
years ago.
I watched it recently. It's like it's weird because it's like it's before people really know who gay people were. You know, like
Right.
in movies, where it's like, oh, he's just having a good time. He's like, all they knew is that they had AIDS was basically the entire plot of the movie.
Right.
And the movie's actually about Denzel Washington being like, I hate gay people, and then he has to defend them in court.
Oh, yes.
And he's like,
Well, I forgot. It's
What about
been a
every
while.
movie but one character reveals they have AIDS?
In every single
Space
movie.
Jam.
Space Jam. Who would have AIDS out of all the Looney Tunes?
Wile E. Coyote.
I would think Pepe Le Pew.
It's like just him over a cliff onto an AIDS
Yeah.
needle.
Bugs Bunny ain't too straight. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Bugs
That's
Bunny
true.
is a pan-androgynous icon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it like that,
He's always got a phallic item in his mouth.
He's
Yeah, he's always sucking a
pan-androgynous
D.
furry. Yeah, sucking a D.
he's pretty fit. you know,
in shape a lot. Lola's always coming on to him, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna hang with Daff and Porky Pig real quick."
yeah, he's sort of a gay icon.
Yeah, he really is.
Up,
Dressing-
but the
kissing
old couple is just a young gay couple, and one of them has AIDS.
There's got to be. Imagine that's like a. That's a trend. Like the suits are like this one movie like had this AIDS like theme. Like we got to have a guy with AIDS, and like everyone's just like we got to get a guy with AIDS,
AIDS.
and it becomes a thing.
Yeah. That is how movies used to work, though, where it's like one thing was successful, and they're just like, let's just do it 50 more
Right.
times. Yeah.
I mean, they do. People do that now on like social and stuff,
Yeah.
and like you said with the Netflix pipeline,
Yeah.
or like the script to like production
Yeah.
pipeline, and how that's really gotten more streamlined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to improvise a song
Okay.
about food and how it's so untrustworthy.
Okay.
And here we
DJ,
go.
let's get a beat.
Let's get a little music going. There we go.
This is feel a little folksy, little Springsteen-y.
You not realize.
Did not realize
that Cisco was the source of all your nutrients.
Source of all your nutrients.
And source of all your cancer.
Source of all your cancer as
You did not realize.
Didn't realize, no.
That preservatives were holding you back.
Holding you back.
From all your hopes and dreams.
Your
Hopes and dreams.
So let's make a documentary.
Let's make that doc.
And we'll call it what was it?
Me trust issues.
With a soundtrack by Cisco.
Me trust issues. Me trust issues. Oh, Cisco, why can't you provide the chicken that we need?
Not that we want, that we need. Show me the farm where it is coming from.
Man, I want them eggs. That's all I want. Let's make the eggs beautiful.
Why is
pure
there a
again.
grizzle in this?
Yeah, no
Is
grizzle.
it chicken at all?
No, it's not.
Why do you hate us so?
France and Canada have much better food.
Yeah, and what's with all that salmonella in our food?
Yeah, Japan eats raw eggs with regularity.
I don't know. I kind of like the salmonella every now and then. It helps clear out my system by pooping for 3 straight days, and that makes me feel really thin and nice.
Thin
but
and
I can also
nice.
kill someone, and I don't know if that
What?
is right.
Murder?
Is meat murder? No. But you murder us with your meat.
Me trust issues.
That slapped.
All right, well, this has been Sean and Andrew Bluff. Thank you again, Kitty.
Thank you so much to Kitty Reynolds.
Thank you so
for
much,
having us.
guys. Thanks for having me.
Is there anything you want to plug, your social media or anything?
At Kit Reynolds on Instagram.
Hell yeah.
And I'm kind of not loving TikTok right now, so I don't even want to plug it.
That's about
I
to be
haven't been
banned
posting.
anyway, so, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, the feed's been weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
deleted mine.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think that's on the horizon. Okay.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much for joining
Thanks,
us.
guys.
That's us for this week. Guys, please like, follow, and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, dogs suck.
You don't like dogs?
Nah, yeah, they taste good.
It tastes good.
Andrew, have you ever eaten dog?
No.
Well, I mean,
I've eaten whale, though.
That's worse. That
Ooh.
is so much worse. than
Yeah, it
eating
is
dog.
worse.
Is it good?
No.